Hey guys, this is Kimberly again with God Goggles. I wanted to give you an update on some things that I was learning. You'll have to go to Jeremiah 31. At one point, Jesus quotes this verse. It's verse 15. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not." And Jesus, in his life, he was quoting that verse when he was talking about when King Herod killed all of the babies, like all of the whole region, all of the 2-year-old and under babies he killed to try to get rid of Jesus. And so he's quoting this verse, and I found it right there in the middle of Jeremiah 31. And I thought it was so interesting because I continued to read, which I haven't read the before part today, I read it the other day, but I continued to read all the way down to verse 35 and had tons and tons of information for anybody who is caught in the end time events. And I'm not sure if I have the time to really go over all of it right now, but I want you to read it. I want you to remember to read these verses, and in fact, go ahead and read all of Jeremiah, because even though God packed a lot of prophecy through Jeremiah, he was a really awesome prophet who the people did not like, and they didn't take to him very well. In fact, there's a movie you could rent. You could probably get it at Amazon.com or something like that about Jeremiah. Anyways, he says, "Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith the Lord, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy." Okay, and further down he says, "Thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord thy God." He's talking about being chastised, and then he's turned. He says, "Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed, I smote on my thigh, I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth." He talks on further down there about being a backsliding daughter. He talks about taking the highway, turning his heart towards the highway, about being a habitation of justice, a mountain of holiness, how he will satiate their weary souls and replenish their sorrowful souls. This is the part that gets interesting. He says, "Upon this I awaked, and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me. Behold, the days will come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass that after I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so I watched over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord. For every one shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge." And he talks about being a husband unto them. And then he talks about, "I will put my law on their hearts, on their inward parts, and I will write it in their hearts. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall all know me, and I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. The Lord of hosts is his name." So that's kind of like a really, really fast reading for you. If I back up to verse 7, it says that he will save a remnant of his people. It says, "Behold, he'll bring them from the north country. They shall come with weeping, and supplications will lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers in a straight way, and wherein they shall not stumble, for I am the father to Israel." Anyway, my point is this, is that right there in the middle of chapter 31, Jesus pulled out that one verse to explain his having to go to Egypt when he was a baby so that they didn't kill him. And it's right there in the middle of a long verse. So my point is if Jesus can bring prophecy out of one little verse right there in the middle, you really want to read the verses before and after, because it will speak to your heart. It so spoke to my heart about being in the latter days. And as a matter of fact, in chapter 30, which is verse 24, it says, "The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he hath done it, and until he hath performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it." So, all of what I'm finding out about the word is that the prophecy is for times to come. It's for times that they're in right then, and it's times to come after the times to come. So I really want you to read Jeremiah. If you have time, read the whole thing. But definitely read chapter 30 and chapter 31, because I believe that it's going to help you to have encouragement, to stick to God. God can still save you. He writes in the word time after time after time about the latter days and still trusting in Him. Trust in Him. Now see all my other videos. I hope that helps you guys. I know it's a little bit choppy of an explanation on my part, but it's really important. I love you. Bye.